this language on the face of this very the Igbo language, and that's how I'm going to pray. Ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ onye anyị na-efe na-agọzi aha nsọ ya, onye ọbụla anyị ya na-achị, onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-erubere isi, onye ọbụla anyị ya bụ ọka aka. Ụbọchị ene ka anyị na-etu gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, mmalite na ọgwụgwụ. Ndị Igbo wee tuo gị ebighị ebi, onye nwe m, ụmụ gị wee gbakọọ n'ụwa niile iwe nara ozi ọma nke gị onwe gị n'ezi ha site n'ọnụ mmadụ dị ndụ nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-asị na onweghị ihe ọbụla nke anyị onwe anyị bụ n'ihi na ọ bụ anụkpa ahụ sọsọ ka mmadụ dị ndụ bụ. Ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ, maka na okwu nsọ gị na-adịghị ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, n'ihi na okwu gị niile ga-abịarịrị na mmezu. Ọ bịa mere Biafra ga-eji wee bịa na mgbe nke anyị. Anyị wee na-akpọkụ wee na-arịọ gị na-asị, lekwa ude nke anyị na-asụ n'akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka o metụta gị n'obi. Onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe, biko dịka isi wee napụta ụmụ gị n'ọbụ n'Ijipt, kwetu wee wezuga ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra mgbe ekwensu bụ zuu nke mmadụ dị ndụ kere. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, na-asị gị n'ime ọnọdụ anyị anyị ga-ekele ha nsọ gị, wee nye gị nsọpụrụ n'ụtụ na-eji ama mgbe niile, n'ihi na anyị enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị onwe anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Ọbịa mere iji wee na-agọzi nzọmụkwụ anyị niile. Ọbịa mere IPOB ji wee gbaa mgbọrọgwụ n'ụwa niile. Anyị anaghị atụ egwu mmadụ dị ndụ. Anyị wee na-eto gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, sị gị biko gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye anyị na-efe nwa akpụ isi ala nye, ka i wee napụta ndị gị n'ọbụ nke ekwensu. Anyị wee na-enye gị ofe na nsọpụrụ na ija mma, na-asị lekwa ka ndị iro anyị niile ka kasisi wee baa ha ọnụ, ha wee daa hapụghị ikunye ọzọ. Obodo ekwensu bụ zu ala nwekwa n'iyi eze ebube dị ngọzi. Anya ọnwa anyị bụ ụmụ gị wee na-akpọkọ ha nsọ gị, na-asị na enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma wee na-eto gị, na-asị onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onwe onye kere na n'otuto niile na nsọpụrụ niile na ịja mma niile site n'ebighị ebi mara ebighị ka a na-arịọ gị. Ise.
Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you're joining me from any part of the world, thank you very much for your contributions on the channel. If you have subscribed, I appreciate you so much. Please, each time you're watching my video, go to the comment section, air your opinion, say your views, make your contributions. We'll learn a lot from the comment section. It is not just watching the video. When you read the comments, you can see some intelligence options over there. You can see some intelligence suggestions over there that will tell us about the situation of things and what is going on. That is why it is important for you to always contribute on the comment section and say your own views. It's very important. For those of them who are not yet subscribed, please kindly subscribe. Subscribe to my channel and also click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. Thank you so much, and remember, I am here once again to talk about the situation of the contraption called Nigeria. And today we are going to discuss mainly on the way that very country is being structured and the connivance of all the elites. When I say all the elites, I mean all the elites. It doesn't matter if they are Igbo, it doesn't matter if they are Yoruba, it doesn't matter if they are Hausa, it doesn't matter if they are Ijaw, it doesn't matter if they are from Edo. Wherever they are, all the elites in Nigeria are in the same bucket. They are in the same line fighting for the same cause, and their cause is not for the benefit of the poor masses. These so-called elites that claim to themselves to be elite, they are the ones destroying that contraption called Nigeria. And each and every one of them is supporting Muhammad Buhari government, which is a killer government, a terrorist government. You will not believe it until when you begin to look at the way they approach issues and the way they talk about issues. When I talk about these elites, the political elites, the religious elites, whatever you call them, whatever angle they are, those who call themselves the educated morons, who thinks that they are very educated and we cannot be able to say anything except accept what they say, they are all in this game together. None of them have a good plan for us. Those of us who are the indigenous tribe in that very contraption called Nigeria, we are in a very deep shit in the hand of these people. These people are around us. They are our brothers, they are our sisters, they are our pastors, they are our advisors. These people, they don't mean well about us. That is why you have to fight for yourself and speak up. You have to fight for yourself. Time has gone when you have to say you only listen to people because they are elders. You don't listen to people because they are elders. You listen to people because they are making sense. You don't listen to people because they are educated. Listen to people because they are making sense and they are adding value to your life. You do not listen to people because they are in power, because they are governor or president, just because they are giving you one little money or the other. No. Listen to people because they are adding meaning to your life. Listen to people because they are speaking the truth. That is what we have to be very careful about. As you can see, when we are talking about the situation of that very contraption called Nigeria, the Fulanization of Nigeria we are talking about, they are all in it together. The Fulanization of Nigeria we're talking about, they are all in it for their own selfish interests. Some of them are doing it intentionally, some of them are doing it unintentionally. When we talk about Fulanization of Nigeria, there are even some pastors who are supporting the Fulanization of Nigeria. There are so many of them who are in politics, who are politicians who are supporting the Fulanization of Nigeria. There are so many people you call elite, the educated ones, who are supporting this Fulanization of Nigeria that we are talking about. Some of them are doing it intentionally, some are doing it unintentionally. That is why at this time that we are in, it is not a time for you to just open your ear and begin to listen to every nonsense from anywhere. It doesn't matter who is speaking. Let me tell you, old people, foolish people also grow old. Foolish people, they also grow old. So don't tell me that somebody is an elder for that. You don't have to challenge his option or whatever he says. Don't tell me because somebody is an elder, you don't have to correct him. Foolish people also grow old. So in this time that we're in, we don't listen to people because they are old. We do not listen to people because they are pastors. We do not listen to people because they are imam. We do not listen to people because they are rich. We do not listen to people because they are educated. You listen to people because they are adding meaning to your life, saying the truth, and also speaking about the present situation that we are, the truth and nothing but the truth. Supporting good and not evil. Supporting good and not evil. If you want to understand what I'm telling you, look at the things that are happening presently in that country called Nigeria. You will see that all these elites, the so-called elites, are on the same line. They are pursuing the same thing. The elite from the southeastern part of Nigeria, the elite from the southwestern part of Nigeria, the elite from the northern part of Nigeria, the elite from any other part of Nigeria, they are all in the same line, pursuing the same thing. While the masses are on different angle, pursuing the same thing, pursuing a different thing. Is that how a country is supposed to be run? These people, the so-called elite and the political set that we are talking about, they are being elected, supposedly being elected by these people. Then how can the people who elect you to speak for them will be speaking in a different voice, and you, the elected to represent them, is speaking in a different voice? That is to show you that Nigeria is not structured to succeed. It's not structured to succeed. It's not structured to succeed. And these people are doing this very thing they are doing because you did not vote them in. Don't think by you queuing up in the polling booths to go and vote can elect them. They know that your vote does not add to their election. What they have in Nigeria is selection. Either you vote them or you don't vote them, they will surely go through. That is when they go through, they will still begin to obey those people who have appointed them into office. They will not pursue your own agenda because you did not elect them. You did not elect them. But each time and every time we come, we begin to forget about this very issue and continue to pursue these very people. Sometimes we listen to people just simply because they call themselves pastors, they have a very big church, and they are calling on people claiming to perform miracle or whatever. Let me tell you, that is not enough reason for you to obey people and listen to them. You don't just listen to people because they call themselves pastor. You don't just listen to people because they go to theological school. Some of them are fraudsters, and some of them are the reason why you are poor. Some of them are the reason why you are suffering. I'm going to give you a very practical example. There is a video that is going around now that have gone viral. Do you know the boys who were protesting, young men who were protesting at Dunamis Church, protesting about Buhari, say Buhari must go? They were not fighting. All they did was to wear a t-shirt that was written Buhari must go. They went to Dunamis Church with the t-shirt. They were not making noise, they were not disturbing any person. What did happen? What happened? The pastor of that mega church called the DSS. According to boys, he called the police first of all. The police said they cannot arrest them because they have not done anything wrong. Wearing the t-shirt, everyone have the right to wear any t-shirt and write anything you want to write in it. It's up to you. You are not disturbing anybody. The police refused to come. This same pastor called DSS. Called Buhari DSS. Buhari DSS, the DSS you know that are being used to intimidate the people. They are being used to kill the people. They are being used to subjugate the people and make the people slave. A pastor who supposedly supposed to protect the people and speak the mind of people and speak for the people called the DSS to arrest these boys. They were arrested and they have been in jail for months now. Not until 2 days ago they were released. These boys were released. But before they were released, this very pastor was confronted by Omoyole Sowore and one other young activist. They went and confronted the pastor. He denied that he never knew that those boys were even arrested. He denied that he never called the DSS. He denied in the pulpit where he was preaching.
We had a great meeting with Paul Enenche.
Yes. And I must quickly add that Papa, was just amazing. It's important to correct the impression that we ourselves had thought that the church was behind the arrest. It's not true. You all know that what many of us, myself and Omoyele Sowore, my brother, has faced in this country, how even the SSS police, everywhere we go to have rally, they follow us, they harass us there. I myself had seriously criticized what the church had done, but now we have been made to realize that it is the security, the SSS, who are in the church. Papa had told us expressly what happened, that he was not aware at all of what happened. Papa was preaching when the whole incident happened, and it was 3 hours later, after second and third service, that he was subsequently informed what happened, and he had even taken steps to ensure that the people were arrested. But the overzealous security agencies that we have in the country, myself and my brother Omoyele Sowore, the SSS and the police, they follow us everywhere, even here.
The DSS was lying.
Yes.
But we have now confirmed
that. Of course, the DSS were the ones.
The DSS.
Yes, they were the ones that did it. Yeah. So we must state that.
And also there was a clarification that needed to be made because some of their PR people are lying out there. Yeah. They tried to disrupt the church.
Yeah, it's a lie.
He said
Papa said nothing like that happened.
And that he actually saw them when they came to the
altar call. That he was even happy.
That he was excited that they came, and he saw the t-shirt.
Yeah.
So nobody came here to disrupt the church service.
Absolutely.
Being peddled by some PR people that maybe hired
overzealous PR people, I'm sure.
So they came here, and it is their right. It's their right. I wore my own t-shirt to meet with him today. My Buhari must go t-shirt.
I wear it to military legal desk.
So there's nobody who can tell you what to wear to church or to wear to school or to, except schools that have uniforms, But we are adults, and if we are tired of the system and we say the system must collapse, it's our right to express ourselves freely. And I told him one thing too. I told the pastor, even when he said that he wasn't too happy that the activists were trying to protest within the premises, that with the way things are going on, more and more people will be wearing Buhari must go t-shirt to the church because people are tired of the Buhari regime. I told him outrightly that he will get to a point where he cannot even control the emotion of his church members with regards to what is going on in the country today. People are tired of this regime, and we have a respectable agreement and some disagreements over this issue. But what is important to me and why I don't want to drag this on for too long is the release of these individuals from detention.
So let me just repeat it again. Let me repeat it again. Even while we were protesting on June 12th in Gudu, we saw the speed of the mobilization of the SSS and the police, the speed at which they came, and the speed at which they acted, and the speed at which they were arrested. So you saw it definitely.
This is a supposedly pastor whom people are supposed to obey and follow his footsteps. He denied having any hand in the arrest of these boys because the boys were still yet in the detention. Sowore pleaded for their release, and the other guy, they pleaded for the release. Not until they were there, until just yesterday, these boys were released. And when they were released, guess what happened? They came out to tell us exactly what happened. That it was this same pastor who has been denying, standing on the pulpit, wearing his robe as a pastor, denying that he never knew about this very arrest, that he was not the one that called the SS. These boys said that they heard him speak, that the phone was on speaker. They were hearing his voice where he was talking, asking the DSS to come and pick the boys up, to beat them up and take them away from there, for doing nothing, just for expressing their views. That Buhari, who in his normal sense will ask Buhari to stay in Nigeria as a president? Nobody in his normal sense, no right-thinking person will fight against somebody that is wearing a Buhari must go t-shirt, knowing that Buhari has come to fulanize Nigeria. Buhari is a criminal. Buhari is the reason why Nigeria is the way it is today. But a pastor called the DSS to arrest these boys. Maybe you think I'm making it up. You will hear from the boys directly after we release what they have to say. Watch.
He called Enenche in our presence.
after listening to these boys, you can see what I'm just telling you, that these so-called elites, they are there, they are pastors, they are politicians, they are traditional rulers. They don't mean well for you and I, and they are not standing for you. They are all working for one thing: to subjugate you, make you a slave to them. What they are interested is on their own. They are just using you as their own product. They are marketing. They are using you as their own product. They are marketing, selling you as their own product to make as much money as they can. You can see so many mega churches in Nigeria. With those mega churches you have in Nigeria, yet a tyrant will be there, ruling people, killing people on a daily basis. There is no uproar. They can't even organize any protest. They can't. When they try to organize protest, you hear they will call it a silent protest, and they will never write anything that has to do with the actual thing that is happening. They will not talk about it. They will not talk about it. This is where we have found ourselves. This is also the main reason why any protest or any organization you form with the elite inside to fight for the people can never survive. They will never survive. The only reason why IPOB is standing strong today is because IPOB was formed by the ordinary people, headed by Mazen Dandekano. There is no politician that is funding IPOB. No so-called elite, even in Igbo land, that is funding IPOB. No governor in Igbo land that is funded IPOB. That is why IPOB is strong than anything and can never fall and can never deviate from the assignment they are called for. I am saying this for you to learn a lesson. For those of you who want to stand up and begin to fight against this government, do not allow any elite to join you in your struggle, because they are not sincere. Will never be sincere. They have only one purpose: to enrich themselves, to impoverish you, and to make sure they have acquired the whole wealth that are acquired. But for you, they are not fighting for you. For Oduduwa brothers, you can see Sunday Igboho fighting. Sunday Igboho came on his own. He wasn't asking for any sponsorship from anybody. Fighting. Before you know it, he gathered the crowd. He was able to gather that massive crowd and support because he doesn't have any link with any politician. He was speaking the mind and voice of the masses. And whatever you see him, wherever you see him, is the voice of the masses and nothing else. But what happened? They came after him. Coming after him, you will be surprised that there are some people who call themselves elite in the west, southwest part of Nigeria, who were part of the betrayal of Sunday Igboho. And today, Sunday Igboho, thank God he has regained his freedom. Thank God he has been proved innocent and regained his freedom. They have succeeded in sending him exile. But the struggle will not end there. Mazen Dandekano is in their captivity. It's not going to end there because the foundation is strong. The foundation was led by the people, with the people, and speaking the voice of the people. But when you come to the elites, these people are on the same basket, working against ordinary citizens in that country called Nigeria. They are all in the same, be it a pastor, be it a reverend, be it whatever they call them, whatever title they call themselves, old and young. They are not for your own good. That is why you have to ask for the referendum. Ask for referendum very, very fast and harder than ever, louder than ever. The only thing that can make us secure in that country called Nigeria is referendum, and us to go a separate way. Self-determination. In referendum, we can decide our fate. In referendum, the masses can speak. They know the masses can speak. That is why they do not want referendum. Even those ones who are representing you in the Senate, they don't want a referendum. They will never speak about it. They know it's the right thing. But when you have referendum, they know it's going to be the voice of the masses. They do not want it. They like the status quo the way it is because it is benefiting them. They don't mean well for you and I. We have to continue to speak up. Speak about the freedom of indigenous people of that very country called Nigeria. Every indigenous tribe is in trouble in the hand of these so-called elites. No one of them is with you. We have to continue to fight. Mazen Dandekano have laid a strong foundation, a foundation based on the people's opinion. A group funded by the people, not by the politicians, not by the fraudulent money that politicians are carrying about. And today they are standing tall. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to protect Mazen Dandekano. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to secure Mazen Dandekano. Give him long life and prosperity wherever he is. Continue to strengthen him, give him good health, and hold him strong until we meet very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from, and remember this. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.